Good morning. This is Park County Commission regular meeting for Tuesday, September 20th at 9 a.m. Have no public hearings this morning, no scheduled public comment. Is there any public comment for items that are not on the agenda today? Okay, let's go to action items. Discussion decision on approving a job description for full-time legal assistant for the attorney's office. Someone on from the attorney's office or Lisa on this morning? We should bump this on the schedule, come back. Discussion decision on ARPA funding request from the community closet. Good morning, Karen.
Hi.
So, Kristen, I know you're on too. Do you want Karen to give a little update or do you want to?
I'm sure I can give you a brief synopsis of what they're presenting, and then Karen could probably answer questions. She put together a nice application for some ARPA funding for assistance with their annex project. I think it's a full reconstruction of that garage in the back, or the old building in the back, and put an appendix on that application which really describes, the way Community Closet contributes back to our community, which is great through, redistribution of goods as well as their community grants. So this fits the nonprofit assistance and the economic recovery priorities for ARPA. And if you guys have more questions, I'm sure Karen can answer them.
Thanks, Kristen. Anything to add, Karen?
I can talk trash for as long as you give me.
So can Matt.
I have to tell you, this process of working on this proposal was really, really good for me. I realize how long it's been an issue for us and how desperately I have tried to address it. And I just feel really good I'm really glad that we had the automated garbage come in 25 years ago. So there's the start of data. That technology helped us a lot trying to figure out, in the city at least, what we're how much we're throwing away, because that was not even known when we first started. And just every step of the way, we've really been aggressive about trying to figure out how can we handle the waste load here in our county without it being a burden on, the public resources that we need for our trash to be removed.
Okay, good. Public comment on this agenda item. Commission discussion. Just one question for me is the project itself contingent on the availability of the funding from the city?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would certainly respect a motion that's made it, if that's how you want to phrase it. Obviously, yeah, we're not going to do it for what we're asking, and I'm not ready at this point to commit to a fundraising project.
Sure.
When we're still just trying to get ahead of employment issues. I just don't have that capacity. The city, it's first going to be coming to the ARPA Commission on Thursday of this week. They have scheduled 2 sessions for the committee to look at the applications. I'm going to be in on that on a Zoom. They just have they don't want the public coming. So I'll be zooming in on that, and then I'll have a much better idea of how many people have applied for the funding.
Okay.
And who actually qualifies as COVID. I think that's what's so beautiful about this project is, especially with ARPA funds, is that we were doing just fine. We were really doing just fine. And then COVID hit, and we're really feeling the costs of this long-term impact.
All right, good. Other questions, discussion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the ARPA funding request from the community closet contingent on city funding becoming available.
Second. Moved and seconded. Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you,
I'll keep you
Karen.
guys posted.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Discussion decision on inmate medical insurance program renewal. Jay, are you on the line today?
I am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Any introductory comments on this?
Basically, I just would like to do the same coverage as last year. It's gone up a little bit, but I just want to do the inmate excess medical insurance at 98 cents per inmate day, and the pregnancy maternity at 2 cents per inmate day.
Okay, so just those two optional coverages.
Yeah, the other optional coverages, the expensive part of treating those disorders or the treatments thereof are the medications, and the insurance company does not cover the medications. So I really don't see the benefit of paying the money when they're not going to pay for medications.
Okay, good to know. Thanks, Jay. Public comment on
You
this
bet.
agenda? Public comment? Commission discussion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the inmate medical insurance program renewal.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion, kind of an annual coverage
Yeah.
decision. We haven't made any changes in a long time. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Two. Discussion decision of obligation of ARPA funds to the HRDC Gardner Infrastructure / Affordable Housing Project. Kristen, do you want to give a little update?
Sure. HRDC was able to secure some acreage in Gardner. I don't know how many years ago. Anyway, the goal for them is to develop 40 to 60 homes of mixed ownership and rental opportunities, which would be on deed restrictions, so it ensures that long-term affordability. And they are requesting $300,000 of ARPA funding toward infrastructure, which would go toward, getting that construction lined up for water and sewer. This meets 3 ARPA priorities: obviously nonprofit assistance, infrastructure, and affordable housing. So I think Heather's there if you had questions for her.
Okay, that's Kristen. Heather, anything to add?
No, that's a great overview. It's been a long time coming. We've been working in Gardner for a great amount of time, and this is actually enough acreage I think really can have a significant impact on the Gardner community as far as housing is concerned. Land and infrastructure are always the 2 factors that really make or break a development. So $300,000 in infrastructure support would actually really be significant for this to move forward. So we're hopeful we can get some balance and get it moving forward. We do have temporary financing in place, and so we're ready to shift that to construction financing and start moving the project forward.
Good, good. Thanks, Heather. Public comment on this agenda item? Commission discussion?
I just want to note we received a letter of support for this request from George Buhlman, who's with the North Yellowstone Education Foundation. Makes a pretty compelling case. Mr. Chair, I would move that we obligate $300,000 of ARPA funds to the HRDC Gardner Infrastructure Affordable Housing Project.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Definitely a needed
Yeah. Be a great
addition to the
project.
community, or any community these days.
It builds on work that was laying the foundation back in 2014, 15, and never found a property until this one.
All right, we got a motion and a second for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heather. Discussion decision of obligation of ARPA funds to Park County Sheriff's Office Detention Center for body scan equipment. Kristen?
Last request today for ARPA funding. This was actually initially forwarded from the MACO attorneys. I think a lot of sheriff's offices across the state are moving toward these new body scan machines. They are non-contact scanning technology. So it's a big machine that would be placed in our basement area near the detention center. And I think the total cost with the equipment, the warranty, and the miscellaneous electrical and construction would be around $200,000. So that's the placeholder Jay and I talked about for obligation of the funds. They would move the locker storage room from the basement up to the top near the sheriff's offices, and move the scanning equipment to the bottom near the detention center.
Okay, good. Thanks, Kristen. Jay, anything to add if you're still on the line?
I am still on the line. I believe that this would be a great tool to curb contraband issues. We have had a couple instances in the last year or two where we've had drugs brought in by inmates and then ended up having them in the hospital because they ingested them, costing the county quite a bit of money. Also, it would alleviate strip searches, which are always controversial, and I just think it'd be a great tool for Park County.
Great, thanks, Jay. Public comment on this agenda item? Commission discussion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the ARPA funds for the detention center for body scan equipment.
Second,
Okay, moved and seconded. Discussion.
yeah, this seems to be a really good situation where technology allows possibly for a better work experience for our employees and a little more dignity for inmates.
Widely used technology, and it's nice to have it funded.
Indeed.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion passes. County board recommendations, we have none today. County department updates. Erica, you want to go first?
Yes, we're going to have a couple of the budget amendments for fiscal year 22 are going to come through next week. And possibility of in fund loan, that's just to get through the bridge of refuse assessments that moved from the spring to the fall. And so that's coming next week.
1 o'clock on Tuesday, I think.
I want to call.
That's what I have.
Yes.
All right.
Are we having a Tuesday? We're not having a Tuesday morning.
We're not
No.
having the morning meeting.
No, we're not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Erica. Matt?
Alrighty, so one of the big things right now is you can kind of see the change in weather that as it's a little colder and rainier, makes paving a little harder. Makes it today, we don't have as much hot weather for that. So the guys are actually out for the next 2 weeks doing grading. We don't have an exact plan. They're just going through and grading rows as quickly as they can. So you should hopefully be seeing less complaints about that. I'm working on compiling some information. It seems like quite a few residents in Jardine don't feel that they're getting their road taxes going towards their road. So looking at the cost of having a private contractor do that with the funds from the residents up there, just putting that together. Old Yellowstone Trail, MDT finally got their big pond taken care of. We are looking at this winter coming in and lining the edge of that road with some concrete blocks and then raising the road 3 feet or so. That way, because that seems to be a point that always floods. If it does in the future, it doesn't matter to us. Our road should be above it. The first week in October, there's 2 site inspections in the Cook City area that I'll be needing to go down to for that. So I'm planning on doing that. The solid waste department, we just finished retrofitting a 40-yard compactor container, putting some extra bands on it and everything so that it can hold up to the pressure from compacting the garbage. We've got one more that we need to do that too, but for probably 90% of loads going over the hill now, it's either compacted 40-yard roll-offs or compacted 40-yard compactor containers. So that just helps with our efficiency. Automatic gates are being installed still. And then we do have improvements for the taxi lane and taxiway going on at Mission Field.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Mark? Morning.
Morning. So yesterday I got to go to the value of the visitor from Montana's economy meeting. My Voices on Montana Tourism over in Bozeman. It's a nice meeting. Kind of shows what a museum can do and how much value it brings to the economy. Also, last week hosted Beaverhead County museum director and museum board at our museum to talk about what we're doing and maybe some ideas that they can take back with them. So that was nice to see. And left my folder in the truck. So oh yeah, family days this weekend. Stephen with GIS was great and got some maps and some smaller maps we're actually going to be able to use for coloring sheets for celebrating public land days with families. The Forest Service will be at the museum as well for that event, and we'll have some different activities that we've put together as well. A lot of oral history requests over the past week and a half. Some projects going on with the area around the Crazy Mountains that have really made people come into the museum and look through our hundreds of oral history recordings. So that's been kind of nice. But yeah, that's kind of what we got going on.
Good. The museum board meeting next Tuesday?
Next
evening?
Tuesday, yes.
Yep. Okay, good. Thanks, Mark. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning. So we have the Fairgrounds and Parks Board meeting this evening at 5:30 p.m. at the fairgrounds or virtual for folks who can't attend in person. Last week, I had the kickoff meeting with Staley and Slate Engineering about the ADA bathroom project at the fairgrounds. Just went over some basics and kind of design desires, and they're working on that right now. And their goal is to go out for bid in January and hopefully have the bid documents in place and maybe construction happening in March. We'll see if that changes, but that would be great. As for the water sewer project, the design's still moving forward. I don't have many updates there. I'm also going to start working with the attorney's office to put together a request for qualifications for subdivision review process to find a third party to help us move forward with the subdivision review for the fairgrounds. The process seems like it might be a little bit more lengthy than we originally thought, so just seeing how we can move forward. I know I'll have more questions from the commissioners in the future, specifically with maybe your wants for what that RV park will look like, and layout, if the layout will match what the master plan shows, or if we need to modify it a little bit. Other than that, I'm just looking for opportunity to improve fairgrounds processes and do small aesthetic improvements. At least that's what Martin's looking for. Things are kind of slowing down outside, and we're focusing on work inside and winterization. So that's it.
Good. Thanks to you and everybody else who had anything to do with the employee appreciation barbecue last week. That was
Yeah.
a really nice event.
Yeah, you did all the heavy lifting. Appreciate it. And I think we owe you some money.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have some information.
All right.
Good, good. All right. Thanks, Morgan. Let's see. Mike, I believe, is still out. Not sure if Lawson's on the phone. Okay. Kristen, anything before the project updates?
I do actually have a update for the water and sewer project for the fairgrounds, and I sent some info to Matt to see if he might be able to help out. But we are kind of waiting on Shannon from the city. The engineers asked him about meter pits and if construction could proceed after city approval, but prior to DEQ approval, which is what's happening in other areas because of the extended review times from DEQ. So that, I think, once we can hear back from Shannon at the city, that project should be able to be let for bids probably in October.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Shannon, are you on the line?
I am. Good morning. Mostly we're all focused on getting prepared for our vaccination clinic starting in October. It's going to be both COVID booster and flu. We're going to do our first one at the fairgrounds on the 5th of October because we just have been getting a lot of calls and thinking that that's going to be kind of a big turnout and that 105 might not have the capacity to get people through in a reasonable amount of time. We also are looking to do a county clinic. I think it's going to be October 21st tentatively. So that'll be here at the courthouse for county employees to come do. We're also providing vaccination to larger businesses, and we're going to go out in the community and get those people vaccinated.
Okay, good. I believe you have a probationary period coming to an end here pretty soon. Do you want to set up a personnel meeting for that, just to do a quick review?
Sure. Yeah, I believe my 6 months will be the 4th of October because I started April 4th. I think that's how it works.
Okay. Yeah.
So wants
Do
to,
you want to, how, are you available next Thursday, the 29th at say 1 o'clock?
how about 1:30?
30 works. Okay, we'll line that up.
All right, great. Looking forward to it.
All right, thanks, Shannon. Greg, are you on the line?
Good morning, I am. Laurel and I met with the Yellowstone Community Fund and the Park County Community Fund Foundation and the United Way yesterday to discuss our flood recovery and what it looks like going forward. The state DES is applying for disaster case management support through FEMA, and the United Way is currently providing case manager support for the people who apply for the Southwest Montana Flood Relief Fund or the Yellowstone Community Fund. So I'm working with the state DES to support the disaster case management for the community funds. Anyone who still needs assistance with the flooding impacts should apply for help through the community funds. Once you get connected with a case manager, they will help you regardless of what your needs are. So even if it's outside the scope of what the community fund has to offer in terms of funding, these case managers are trained to connect you with other resources depending on what your needs are. So that this is sort of our last, the last effort to give the folks the help that they need. So please give my office a call. I'm happy to connect them with those folks.
Good info. Thanks, Greg.
Yep, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, they've received our request for technical assistance. They're putting together a team of experts to come and assess the 2022 flooding impacts. They're going to focus on the riverbanks in the Gardner area and have asked for areas of concern. So I'm going to be assessing GPS coordinates to give them other areas. We're going to focus on Carter's Bridge. And now I don't know if they're going to focus this, but these are areas of concern that I'm going to share with them. The flooding that occurred there in the canyon. I have a concern about the hospital. I'm not sure whether that's county or city jurisdictions, but so if there's any other areas of concern, please let me know. I will forward that to the Army Corps.
Okay, thanks, Greg.
We have a safety.
By the way, hospital, I'm pretty confident in city jurisdiction.
Yeah, I still don't understand the flooding of the hospital. I think it came from several different sources or areas, and so yeah. But the Army Corps will work with both the city and the county, and they're making sure that we're not duplicating efforts. Safety team meeting tomorrow. Southwest Montana COAD meeting tomorrow. The COAD, that's Community Organizations Assisting in Disaster. That was an important group helping us with our flood response. And 911 communications meeting on Thursday. That's my report.
Hey, great. Thanks, Greg. Is Dr. Desnick down there?
No, she's not available.
Okay, all right. Ashley, are you in the line?
I am here. So I am just working with the county attorney's office. We've set up a few meetings to kind of iron out the changes with Kristen coming on with the county attorney's office and exactly where the caseload is going to land, and just also navigating the process that we haven't done before. It seems like sometimes when we talk about it and then when it happens, it's a little different, and we have other questions that we didn't have before. So just figuring out that. So we are reaching out to Mako to help navigate through some processes there. I do currently have one request for prosecution submitted with the county attorney's office. So working on that, working on my budget text just because I'm a new department, so haven't had that to kind of look back on previous years. So working on that. I have a few letters going out with buildings that are going up with no permits. Also focusing more on, I need to spend more time on the GovOS resource that we have for the county, and trying to tailor some of the reports for me to be more efficient. And yeah, a great start, I think, with Cook City with my program. So I think that the community has opened up to me and kind of accepted my program and can see the benefits. So I think that was a win for me. And just working on more patrolling as far as documentation to kind of beef up that part of my caseload.
That all sounds really positive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
Right. Lisa, are you on the line this morning? I think she may be still out. Is that true? Yeah, Lisa sounds like she's out. So let's see. Did I cover everyone? I think I got everyone. All right. Let's go to project updates, public transportation.
I was just down there yesterday, and there's a bunch of insulation, so I believe the metal is going to start being erected this week, hopefully, and then that insulation must go on the inside, so things are moving.
Good news. All right. Shields Valley Communication Project.
I'm just starting to finish up our final report and reimbursement request for that project. And then if Greg's still on the line, I don't know if he's having a last meeting with industrial communications about the checklist items, those items that need to be fixed before the project is certifiably complete.
I have not heard from industrial about that, but I need to talk to him about something else, and we'll follow up with the final punch list.
Thank you.
Thanks. Travis Mountain Road, no updates from me.
None here.
Okay. Cybersecurity network upgrades.
I'm still waiting for Erica Hoffman on some cybersecurity ideas that she has that we could pass through the state to see if they'll allow those as part of this grant process.
Okay, good. Gardner Capital Improvements Plan.
I think that's on hold right now, but Matt might know more.
They're in the design phase of 2 blocks of Gardner right now. That's where that question about the sidewalks came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving through the engineering process.
Good. All right. Minimum allocation infrastructure projects.
I did reach out to Deb Purvis and did get some information from her. You know, FEMA's not going to help them with the water project per se. You know, the damages that were incurred from the flood were mostly the debris, and I guess they've told her that Park County is responsible for cleaning that up. So Matt, we might want to add that to our project number that we have for debris cleanup for FEMA. That's what I heard from Deb anyway. So she is asking a little bit about the loss of revenue to the district since the local businesses aren't using their water nearly as much, and if they can apply for ARPA or MA funds for the 25% match that FEMA requires. So that would be she may present an application to you guys for consideration for that.
Okay, good to know. Any time frame in mind? Or?
She has some time to work that out. I think with FEMA, she has till the 26th to finish categorizing their damages that they'll accept. So.
Okay. All right. Public comment on the above projects. Okay, meeting minutes for the September 13th, 2022 meeting.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the meeting minutes for September 13, 2022.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Discussion, changes, they look good to me.
They look great.
Thanks, Carl. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Consent items, state of correspondence and public comments. Mr. Tinsel.
I have none of that.
Okay. Mr. Berg.
We heard from the Bendons, and it looks like you, Steve, followed up on that. They have property tax questions. Baylor Carter reached out about Billman Lane, Public Works Director, contacted him. Karen Thomas had concerns about the Carabella Bridge, and Matt has been in communication with her as well. And many conversations about the Jardine Road. That's it.
Okay. A lot of conversations about roads. Had a phone call with a resident regarding condition of Trail Creek Road. Had an email from a resident regarding the petition process for restoring two-lane traffic. They put a note in front of Kendra just to see if there are any legal issues. I think it's mostly a policy concern, but we'll find out. Not sure in the policy sense whether we have any interest in revisiting that, but that'll be another issue. Had a note from an email from a Cook City resident regarding the residential berm from, was associated with the tanks that's causing standing water. I don't know whether we have any obligations there or not, but see what happens there. And
I'll
I
have
think
to
you were gonna,
take a look and see what's on county right of way. And then if there's work that needs done on county right of way, I'll let the adjacent property owner know that they need to repair that work. And if not, we will have our contractor do it and bill them for it.
Good. All right. Thanks, Matt. Also a note from a Cook City resident regarding heavy truck traffic speeding through town. And forwarded that to the sheriff's office just for their information. And I think that's all I have for correspondence. Commissioner comments? Mr.
And
Kinsley?
none.
Mr. Burke?
I had a few discussions last week about how the enterprise hasn't been covering much county activity. And wondering if we can fire up capabilities we already have on the website to allow people to subscribe to maybe a weekly update, maybe with just a brief overview of what the departments are doing, what's coming up, a weekly reminder that here's where you can go to look at the agendas. Carly and I went, yeah, the health department has used that pretty effectively, and other departments certainly could, including us.
Yeah. I think if we have capacity, I think it'd be a great idea.
We do.
Just one more form of outreach.
Yeah.
And it could just be to see if we do have enough information to put one out weekly, or if we do it at least once a month, or,
Yeah.
you know, just.
We can experiment.
But I think starting out weekly would be,
Yeah.
and see what kind of response. we
A lot
get.
of what comes up in the Tuesday department updates is relevant. And
Absolutely.
obviously, there's a high level of interest in road work. And there's an election coming up. So, our work is important. We should spread the word. We can do better. Healthy is wellness. That's just a fact. And they're here today. So data don't lie. Go stand on a scale and see how you measure up. HRDC board meeting in Gardner Thursday. Looking forward to having that crew down in Gardner to kind of look at how life is there, especially in the wake of the floods. Mako conference in Billings next week. I think Clint and I will both be gone Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I will hold the fort.
Please. And the Park Service has been working for months now. It's been 3 months plus since the flood, and their plan is to have the road open from Gardner all the way to Silvergate and Cook on October 15th. So that will change the way we can do some of our work around here. And we'll see what the new normal is like. And most importantly, and this doesn't take a commission decision, summer ends Thursday, first day of fall.
We don't have to approve that?
Nope, it's a done deal. It's above our pay grade. So congrats getting Park County through another summer. It was a hard one. That
Okay, not much to add from me. I got the library board meeting this afternoon at 1:30, and Healthy is Wellness. Definitely sign up for it. It's worth going in. And just a reminder, safety meeting tomorrow at 9. In the Park County Senior Center, there's an Area 4 event in terms of programming for those with disabilities. I'll be going to that. And a big congratulations to the Park Service for what looks to be an imminent completion of some really impressive work up there. So really appreciate that on a number of counts, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. So kudos to them. And that's all I have.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
I second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Adjourned at 9:34.